Yo, what's going on? We're going to talk about the illusion, and a lot of people don't know that the illusion, things aren't always what they seem to be or what you see, and you can always get a closer view and get to that reality. So that's just an easy way of talking about how people remove things from your sight so that they could create an illusion. The gods did that to us. They lied to us. You were lied to. The globe is not flat, it is round. You're removed from truth purposely, never taught about the galactic knowledge of the true mathematics, the true science, the true forces that your body can work with, your origin of your birth and the possibilities within you, or why things are happening now. Why are things happening now? The gods and the Dracos are fighting for territory, for energy, sacrificing our bodies and our minds and our time. Your time on this earth is precious, and you're being used as a shield. That's all you are good for. And it's a sad crime committed by God, and He'll never apologize. God's speed surpasses life, overrides the glimpse we need to see reality. They always keep us down. You can never catch a real look at reality. Every day you would tell yourself you are living in reality, but it's an illusion. It's a sad crime. Population is 9 billion people, and people go, well, we all fit. But 9 billion people, if you had the right amount of people on the earth, you would realize you're more comfortable and you could breathe better, and that things work well. You know, if you put too much oil in your car, it overspills and runs on all the motor, starts making all kinds of steam and shit, and that would piss you off. That's a normal thing, right? People could understand that. You know, when you start talking about real stuff, they can't understand it no more because we're all subjected to it. And you say that's reality. That's the reality, is that was happening. But the illusion is that we accept it. You know, just say it's bullshit. Slap yourself right now if you can. Maybe it'll help you. I mean, things like that always help me. Slap yourself in the face physically, and then maybe you'll feel a little tinge of reality. Okay. Let's see here. Reality for slaves is not possible now. It's not, but we can still do it for our children. Start to become knowledgeable of these things that I'm talking about now, and some of the aspects is going to be the most important thing to know, that we were supposed to be taught. You know, no being is ever without knowledge. Everything in the universe is guided by knowledge. A tree has knowledge. Animals have knowledge. They know nature. Do you know nature? Or do you just know, I go to work, I eat, I sleep, I watch TV? If you do any of those things, you're in the illusion. We're all there. Okay, I miswrote this, but it says, I didn't put an R on the others. Other slaves alive now on the spheres, on other planets, in our galaxy, and in the universe. In this universe, there are other beings, we're not going to call them people, because people are gods. When you hear yourself saying people, that's God channeling through you, talking about Himself, because He uses our vessels to still our energy, and every single vessel is used and abused. One time or another, you'll hear yourself saying people, or maybe you will even miss it. If you say people, person, God don't even give us that respect. We're too small. You're not a person and a people or a human. Human is Hua, is light. Light man. Manvatara is 1,000-year period. You don't even have the knowledge of 1,000 years. You would ask me what that is, but I can't explain that all in one video here. But the Hua man, God even projects Himself and says He's us, because He stole our vessel, because we don't know that we're a dual being. One half of us is material, then in another realm or layer of the universe that we all live in, because this galaxy has layers. A few layers over is another part of our being, which is a round sphere, which thin energy lines pass through and create our reality, our perception by what we intend or the forces that we're aware of, or that God makes us aware of because He steals our vessel. But He keeps it at a low energy rate so He could still it with a small intensity move, which He kind of charges it up on a high dimension, and we don't really realize what it was. Like you feel like you got burnt out or burned or singed or something like in your mind, or you just forgot. Well, that was God stealing your energy. Pretty pathetic. You know, you could always not be afraid by putting your life on the line and saying, doesn't matter if I die today or in 100 years, I'm not going to be a victim and be unaware. Become aware even if it creates pain for you. You know, pain can help you to see that what I'm saying is true. You know, the illusion is not space. It interrupts the reality of the natural process in the time scenario, like trying to put other qualities in the area a sun exists. Okay, so what God does is He creates possibilities within us for Himself. And I'm not just talking about one God. There's a whole host of aliens above us. There's 7 Elohims, which each one is as powerful as a god on this earth. Each one has a nominated leader, and ours happens to be a god, and he does have a name. I'm not going to name him in this because I'll name him in another video. But there's other ones, you know. You've heard some of their names before. You've heard at least 2, I'm pretty sure. At least 1. But then there's like 1.25 million aliens around here, and then a collective of them within that 1.25 million, 144,000 which were selected to be like a committee, you know, a host of a body. Like they all put themselves together in large energy groups, and then they make decisions. You know, that's their biggest thing is, oh, this is this way, that is that way, and then they go and do it. It's like if you're planning on building a house, you get all your materials together, figure out the cost, if it's effective, does everyone agree, because they all do it for themselves. They don't do it for us. Man, I can't even explain to you. They do not do it for us. You know, we have to get together and start becoming knowledgeable, because God kind of deleted us. You know, I'm going to have to use terms that people use here. Like, you guys like to use computer terms nowadays. 20 years ago, we didn't use computer terms. We used other terms that, you know, you say those words nowadays, like, He don't love us. That meant something back then. Now you're like, oh, well, I don't care. No one loves me. I don't even love myself. Blah, blah, blah. Love is important. As long as you know what love truly was and the reality of it, then you wouldn't have to use those other terms. But you've always been removed from illusion by the illusion. And the illusion could get deep. You know, the illusion could get even deeper. It was deep. It's been deep. You know. Okay, so the first sin, sacred sin, war paraphernalia, protection of being useful, we didn't count at all. First sin, God made the first sin, sacred sin. I can't remember which one was the cornerstone definition I wanted to use, but the sin that we don't know knowledge, that's a sin. That's not alignment. And a sin is like, let's say you have a circle and you're at 1 o'clock and your dial needs to be at 12 o'clock. You're 1 off. If it's at 11 o'clock and you're supposed to be at 12 o'clock, you still fell short. That's sin. I mean, that's like a graft. You know, you can see that you're off. And second sin, first and second sin also have other meanings of sacredness. Like you say it don't matter, but in a sense it does matter, and that would be the sacredness of it, is that it's supposed to. It's a natural thing. What about the sun? The actual sun didn't do what it's supposed to. Well, then you would fucking realize something was wrong. And that's what we're not realizing, it that there is something wrong. Everybody knows it, but when we're all in a group of 9 billion people, we're stupid, and plus we have God telling us it's okay to be stupid. You know, I mean, you can make a brighter side to all this later on, but you should take this all in at once that, you know, we've been abused and used, And everybody's supposed to live forever again. That's what I'm going to tell you, is that we weren't supposed to die. You know, we all say, well, how are we supposed to live 70, 80? Well, I already told you. We're supposed to have light bodies. You have two vessels. You're supposed to cultivate it. God didn't show us how to cultivate it because He is busy using your vessel for Himself. That's a sin. God lied. How else do you want to say it? You could make up your own way of saying it, but I don't know if it's going to make sense. Like, God didn't do right. He was selfish. They were selfish. The higher ups chose not to acknowledge us. You know, your life isn't supposed to be passed over, my friends. Now we have to just make do and live for our children or live for the future and whatever it holds. But really, the damage has been done. You know, it's either I tell you or someone tells you later, or you never know. I don't know which one you would like. I know there are people out there that would like to know. Okay, and also on other planets there are other beings just like us, but with intelligence, because they were always taught from birth, and then their children are taught from birth, and their cultures are over 400,000 years old or 100,000 years old, and they even become upgraded, because a being can be upgraded and keep learning and add more to itself and reach levels that it couldn't have reached in the very beginning. So that's what we were lied to about. You know, everybody on this planet is supposed to be intelligent. There shouldn't have been deformities. There's not supposed to be people that are getting abused. Abuses, those should be a thing of the ancient past, when we left our carnality, and we're still stuck in carnality. And well, we were fast raised. We were born into carnality, given some insight into intelligence that wasn't exactly useful. It's just we were only given what God wanted to put into us so that He could create the being, a vessel for His own being to occupy and use in war. Every time you realize you're used in war, you should know that that's not a good thing. You know what I mean? People create weapons for war and they don't think. They just do for themselves. It's not part of their body. It's outside of themselves. They use it for their own good. And what did they leave you with? A bunch of gashes and marked and broken and scattered on the battlefield, destroying other people. Why avians, gods, made a material sentient being to abuse? Ask them. I know the avians were the ones who decided that it was possible, and they marked everything and labeled it and made out plans, because they had a higher ascension plan to occupy a deeper layer of the universe. They actually ascended the highest layer of this universe into another thicker one, which we don't occupy. And I don't know what kind of beings. All I know is there is a thicker layer, and you can see it in stories like that of who is that mythological being? Is the one with Thor and his father. But if you read the mythology, they talk about the nine-celled tree or something like that, and there's other layers to that. Like, it gets thicker and there's more connecting pieces, and once you connect them all, you have it all together, it becomes one, and then you could probably see into another. So we don't know everything about the universe, and we don't have galactic knowledge, and those are just little insights that I have, and I still don't know enough. But I know that they did find those things, and they've abused us. Like, our story don't make sense. Like, you could keep adding it up, it don't make sense, except for the fact that we were stepped on. And I mean, I don't have a good ending for this, except for that knowledge is still power. You know what I mean? So everyone have a good time figuring this stuff out. Sometimes going through the negative stuff helps you to figure out some positive stuff. And thank you very much.